It's always been a terrible problem what to do when you come out of the forces. Well, John Manifield, he grew out of service life, but he carried on his service career in Civvy Street, which was a rather clever thing to do. Yes, the RAF dog handler now trains civilians with their dogs. He and his wife Wendy are great exponents of group training. Well, Wendy and John, a lovely day for it, but I'm trying to work out what it is. It seems to me like a sort of canine social etiquette walk.
What we're dealing with here, we're dealing with the average family pet owner. We're not dealing with someone who's seriously into trial work and therefore is very dedicated. We're dealing with people who've got the small dogs and the big dogs and they're not quite sure how to deal with them. And dogs really do. The old adage about giving an inch, taking a yard is absolutely spot on with dogs. Give them an inch and they will take a yard, and most owners give them more than an inch. We have to teach owners to be spot on with dogs. Dogs have to know where they are with owners. If an owner says something, the dog must obey it. Once you reach that point, and everything after that's fun. So
when you've taught the heel command, then presumably you'll let it off the chain, and then if it doesn't come back to the word heel, what would you do then?
if you say to a dog, Fido heel, and it doesn't, it just totally ignores you, you have to have some method of getting its attention. So we use a long lead, and it gets a little check on the end. Catch its attention. Once you've got its attention, the owner must go soft and encouraging to pull the dog in. So many owners shout and scream at dogs when the dog's coming towards them, and that's not attractive to a dog. You need to be very encouraging.
Is it confusing, do you think, Wendy? Because, I mean, often down the street, and I'm not blaming people, you've got the pram, you've got the toddler, you've got a dog, and Tracy, don't do that, you shut up, Fido. And in the end, I mean, you're confused.
You do sound like a lot of our owners, I have to say.
Thank you, Wendy, very much.
Yes, the simpler you keep it, the more responsive your dog. I mean, you use your voice, you use body language, and you hard tone, yes, but then praise. You've got to make yourself attractive.
Good girl, good girl. Sit, sit, Charlie.
All the dogs you see off the lead have all done off-lead recall. They've all done horse and cattle desensitization, which again you can see, because they must ignore livestock in this sort of environment, and they must come back when they're told. I mean, all sorts of emergency
You used the
alarms.
word, was it desensitized?
Desensitized. If a dog is sensitive in any area, and we're talking about sensitive in the sense that perhaps it likes horses moving, it likes the look of cows, it likes the smell of sheep. And
That's natural, isn't it?
That's natural. That's a sensitive area, though. Could equally be a motorbike or a car, a jogger. It's a sensitive area. So what we have to do is to face the dog up to that sensitive area and desensitize it.
And how do you do that, Wendy?
The basic recall is firstly done. That's essential. So we start that on the long lead. We eventually have them off the lead. We do it in stages. John will do first, I will do the off-lead socialising, and then we'll find a horse. A horse is important. I mean, we don't just go out and find a horse. The horse setup is important because you have to be able to walk a dog past a horse and have it totally ignored. That means hard tone, a hard check. It's a good boy. Okay, just on that side and then go back. Again, bring him into heel. Lots of praise, though. When he's looking at you, lots of praise. That's good. And the praise is just as important as the discipline.
Far too many owners, they can't differentiate, they can't get a balance right between the mix of praise and encouragement. It's either all hard or all soft.
But that's like parents with children as well, isn't it? It's because we're stressed.
But you can be logical with a child. You can't be that type of logical with a dog. A dog is a simple associative creature. If it associates a hard tone with something, followed by a soft tone, then it's obviously going to go for the soft tone.
That's a clever girl. Good girl. Good.
Can I ask a very simple question? Do you both feel every dog should have some form of training, or is it an alternative that you do it at home?
There are some dogs who need little training, but they're few and far between. If you've got one of those dogs, you're very lucky. The average dog needs training, and if it's not trained properly, you're not in control of it, and you're not in control of it, then you're liable to open yourselves up to all sorts of accidents, incidents, whatever.
Have you had any one particular case that you think, oh, I'm so pleased we cracked that?
Shall we say Esther?
Oh, I think we have to, yes.
Esther is we don't...
Is she here today?
Yes, she's here today. She's floating around there somewhere. If we had to pick one dog, it has to be her, because she's a dog that turned from a very aggressive, antisocial dog into a dog, as you can see, who likes to play. She loves... Now she will encourage dogs to play with her. The reversal has been absolute. And we don't have favourites, but she would have to be the favourite if we had to pick one,
really
without a doubt, because that's our great satisfaction, really the great satisfaction of doing this job. turn a dog like that around.
And it's also quite lonely, isn't it, if you go as an individual to a dog training class. I mean, my mother did this with a dog called McGregor, and everybody's dog was doing exactly what the Johns and Wenges were instructing, and McGregor did absolutely nothing except bark and then made a mess on the floor, and Mother fled home and has never trained him.
We're
because
much
it's
friendlier than
embarrassing.
that. Much friendlier than that. I mean, even on our classes, our halls, we have socialising sessions there. They're off the lead. They have 5 minutes off the lead because the socialising is important. If we have dogs that are dominant or aggressive, they don't go on the lead, off the lead until we're happy.
Absolutely so.
Because you can't just suddenly let them all go and say, sort yourself out.
We decided to specialise this way by going out into the various areas rather than bringing them to us, because one-to-one doesn't necessarily work, because you can't socialise. We decided to socialise, and we get them off the lead almost immediately, dependent on how serious their dominance is.
So, it's summing up. Make it fun,
Yes.
careful with your commands, think clearly, don't confuse them, and praise.
Lots of praise.
Yes. And overall, remember you're dealing with a dog, not a child. The dog has no logic. It's not a logical creature, not a child.
Now, I suppose your animals are absolutely paragons.
We don't have dogs. We really don't have time for dogs.
No, we don't have time. It would be most unfair. I mean, we travel into 4 counties and we've got 13 venues, and to have a dog sitting in the car all that time, most unfair.
We have 2 cats. We have 2 cats who, it's a real nice foil for all the dogs,
Oh, yes.
really.
Super.
I've heard it all now. I really have. I've heard it all. It's like the midwife who's never had a baby telling you how to do it.
Well, we have 40
You've
dogs
got a
here.
lot
These
of
are our
children.
dogs,
I know
yes.
you've got a lot of children.
Cats we work to the water spray, you know.
Oh, yes.
Don't start that one. Well, I'm missing Desmond. I know he's on the trail of something rather interesting by the look of it.
Pam Clayton, I've kept you back from the pack just for a moment because I looked at all the different dogs here and this breed caught my eye. Now, I know it's a Leonberger, but I honestly have to admit I know very little about this breed. It's a very rare breed. What's its history?
Well, from what I understand, it actually began way back in the 5th century, originally as a cross between a St Bernard, a Newfoundland and a Pyrenean mountain dog. And they were used to guard sheep from wolves up in the German mountains. There's actually a place called Leonberger in Germany. But it's really only over about the last 150 years it's become a popular dog in Europe. It's quite popular now in Germany and Holland, but in the UK, for instance, there are only about 200 dogs in total. It's really small.
So the name is connected with the place, although I must say, Leon, meaning lion, they do look lion-like,
They
don't
do, actually, very much so, yes.
and-
Huge manes and... Yeah, it's very fixing.
Let's have a look at the characteristics. Is this the typical colour? There's a slight difference in the head colour.
There are slight variations. He's probably about as dark as they go. He's a sort of more normal red, and some of them actually are almost blonde, almost this kind of colour all over, but still with the black face markings. So, as I say, he's a little bit darker than they go, but...
What about these two as individuals? Their names are...
Bracken and Berry.
Now, Bracken looks older.
He's 2.5, yes, and Berry's 1.5. So
Yeah.
they don't actually stop growing till they're 3. So he's got a long way to go, and he'll still
They're
heavy
big
up
enough
a bit.
already. Do you think you could get them to stand up so we can see their full size?
Yep. Bracken, Berry, stand. Stand.
Aye,
Good boys.
good. They are
boys,
huge.
Wait.
They are like lions.
Good boys, wait.
Talking of weight, how much do they weigh?
Bracken weighs about 12 stones, close on
12
12 stones,
stone.
and Berry's at about 10. So, yes, they are very big, very strong
Quite a
dogs.
handful.
Yeah.
I mean, they must be very powerful. Is it difficult to control them?
Well, one could answer you've got to train them before they outweigh you, I suppose. But I think the thing is they've got such an equable temperament generally as a breed. They're very steady, particularly Bracken. And because they've got a working heritage, they're intelligent dogs, so they are reasonably easy to train and a real joy to train.
Have they changed much since you joined this scheme?
Yes, they have. I mean, I particularly wanted to do more with Bracken. They've both definitely become more obedient, but one of the difficulties I was finding was with Berry, the younger one. He was actually quite a nervous youngster, and that's very out of character for the breed. But he probably, because we live in an isolated place, he didn't see other dogs very often, and so he was very nervous of other dogs, and was starting to sort of grumble and growl, and very fearful of them. And since we've come here, really, John and Wendy have sorted him out completely, and now he absolutely adores this. So yes, they've changed a lot, actually, particularly Barry.
Well, actually, I'd say the walk's gone off now. They've gone off down over in that direction. I must let you catch up with them, but just before you go, you really think John and Wendy are doing a good job? You think this is a successful operation?
This is a fantastic concept, because you can teach dogs basic obedience at home. That isn't the issue. The issue these days, and for large dogs particularly, is socialisation.
Yes.
And I think that's critical. So I think they're doing something which is very, very responsible and very special.
And it's very important for them to be in that group.
Oh, I think it's really critical.
And here am I keeping you out of the group.
No,
So I
no,
must
no.
let you go.
Nice to talk to you.
You'll be able to catch up with them, do you think?
No problem at all. Saddle them up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye-bye.
You know, as I was saying before we actually got here, and when you think about it, I mean, the horse, in the old days when we needed it so much for transport, and we've sent it into battle, and excuse the pun, I mean, we gave it a really rough ride, didn't we? I mean,
We did.
saddles on its back, you've got
Spurs,
in its
whips.
flank, you've got
Yeah.
a bolt through its mouth, and
Yeah. It did have a rough time, and why I'm interested in meeting Kenneth Quick today here at his stables is because Kenneth is doing something rather unusual. He's seeing things, you know, from the horse's point of view. For example, a lot of people keep their horses in total isolation from one another. Now, a horse is a social animal, and they like to be together in groups, and he keeps them in groups. And I gather that they come in at a certain time of day, and they all come in together and go to their own boxes.
and did you know they were all greys?
Well, of course, I always call them white horses. I know I shouldn't. I know I
Grey.
shouldn't. Grey horses,
Grey.
grey horses.
Hi, Kenneth.
Hello, Sarah.
And tell me about this one.
This is Mo, 9-year-old, and she's New Forest Arab.
Yes, she's in love.
Beautiful place.
How many have you got here?
We have 10,
And all grey?
all grey.
Yeah,
yes.
it was a very fine sight. There's no one, I mean, you must tell people, there wasn't someone herding them, was there, at the back there?
Oh, no, not at all. No, they'll always come in by themselves, and they'll find their own boxes.
They do. Each one goes to its
Into
own
their own
box.
box, yes.
And there's never any argument?
No, they learn very quickly. I've got a new one now, and it's already learnt. Find its own box.
Why don't more people do this then? I mean, it seems
Well, they
such a-
don't allow them to have an unrestricted herd. They tend to mix them a bit too much, maybe, or we don't have private horses here, liveries here. We only have our own herd. There's nothing to disturb them, really. If
And
you
they get on
them-
all right, do they?
Well, you introduce them, and in the field you can watch them. They'll respect their private space. But when you're riding them artificially, in a sense, aren't you? You're making them enter each private space, and they respect it.
It's had a rotten time in the history, hasn't
Well,
it?
yes, it has. All history is carried on its back, isn't it?
Yeah,
in fact?
absolutely. Well, now tell us, because we haven't told everybody what you're doing, tell us why Mo here has a bridle on and
bit of string.
piece of string.
A bit of string.
Oh,
Well, we use that purely as an example of what can be done with a trained group, don't forget, and riders with some independence. You can prove the point that they've used to their routine. They can leave each other and come back and do all kinds of things, do a full dressage test. You can take the bit away from them and they'll still do it on a bit of string.
so
Simple as that.
you're saying you take the bridle off
yes,
and
yes.
your pupils, your riding pupils, ride just with a
On
piece
bit
of string.
That's right.
Well, let's
To
have a
prove
look.
the
See,
point.
how does the string actually fit around the horse? It's the same as the halter, but without the bit, really. in
Well,
a
yes,
sense.
it has a certain amount of pressure on the nose, but very little.
Yes.
Don't forget that when you've got an independent seat and you're making the horse go forward, you're controlling what you're creating, and until you've created some energy, there's nothing there to control, is there? So you find that when you're making this horse go forward, you don't need all these bits and pieces in its mouth, not for the sort of work we do here.
What does the horse think about a bit in its mouth?
Well, a lot of them, of course, get very bit sore and bit shy, don't they? I know people that have got horses that they literally run away from the bit. And that's why they run away. That's why they buck them off. That's why they bolt, actually.
What does this mean, though, when you're teaching riding? Because taking me back, one of my first riding lessons, we had to put our hands, I think, behind our backs. And it was always, if you haven't got your seat right, you haven't got your legs right, and then a light pair of hands. I can hear
That's
it so
right,
clear.
that's right.
Light pair of hands. So
Yes.
it encourages the rider to develop the lower area rather
Well,
than...
independence, we call it today, don't we? If your waist to your knee, as it were, is the seat, isn't it? If that becomes part of the horse, you've learned to ride, literally. And then you can use your legs and your hands independently of your seat. Until you can do that, you can't ride.
Now, independence, this is a technical term, isn't it?
Well, it is in a way, I suppose.
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning that they have developed their seat. They can sit to all the paces, and even if they're too stiff in the waist, they can't. It's to do with fluidity of the body, isn't it, really, that makes them sit to the paces.
Standard.
How far can you take it, Kenneth? I mean, obviously, if you're taking horses around a field and you've just got your, as you say, your bit of string, and that's all that's being used to control it. It's nice for the horse, it hasn't got this horrible piece of metal in its mouth. But supposing a horse bolted, or supposing you wanted to race a horse, you wouldn't go that far, or would you?
Well, you could go fast with a bit of string. Don't forget that very often they're working on land that they are used to. They're accustomed to the land they're riding over, and you'll find that if you take a horse on a certain canter, for example, you know he wants to canter. He's bottling up ready because he knows he's cantered there before. Yeah. And you don't need a bit to stop him the other end because he's always stopped the other end.
How long, Kenneth, does it take when you take the bridle off and put on the bit of string for a rider to adapt to that?
Oh, they'll adapt straight away.
Yeah?
As long as they've got the independent, they're driving the horse on, riding it on. They don't need the bit in its mouth at that point because you're not galloping it. Don't forget. Perhaps after a gallop you might need something to pull the horse up, maybe.
Does anyone say, "Oh, I don't think I really want to do that, Mr. Quake"?
I had one.
And what did you say?
No, I didn't let her do it. They must be confident they can do it, obviously.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do find there's the odd person that thinks they think it's something. It's not unusual. They think it's unusual, but it isn't. You'll see today it is not unusual. It's not that difficult to do.
Would you like to see more people using your technique?
Well, there's nothing very clever in it, I can assure you. You know, anyone could do it, provided they did it under these circumstances. Look at them sort of thinking they can just get on their pony in a bit of string and take it down the road and ride it out there by itself. They might not be able to.
Well, it would be a very silly thing to do.
Silly thing to do.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But this is done under controlled circumstances when it demonstrates a point, doesn't it? Really?
Yes, it does indeed.
It does. Yes.
Kenneth, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. This is not Carol Webb or Karen Wells, and neither's this. But it has to be said, the girls are the champions of farm animals. Now, this is Carol.
Yes.
This is Karen.
Yes.
And this is...
Wellington.
And why is Wellington called Wellington?
Well, he used to chew my boots when we used to bottle feed him, so he was named Wellington.
Wellington is one of, I suspect, looking around, must go into hundreds, Carol.
Yes, we've got approximately 350 animals in total.
Farm animals?
Yes, yes.
I mean, why farm animals? I mean, you'd think farm animals look after themselves, farmers look after them.
Yeah, well, first off, we don't believe in animals obviously going for meat.
You're both vegetarian, are you?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we take in what we can that have finished their breeding life and are no use really to a farmer any longer.
But isn't this the most incredible task? I mean, how can two girls, and you have a job, you work in a secretarial agency, you do it single-handedly with a family.
Yeah.
How the hell can you do it?
Well,
We just do, don't we? Muddle through.
Yeah, it's extremely hard work, extremely hard work, but a lot of rewards.
You two, I mean, come on, I'm not
Well-
twinging the heartstrings.
We usually start feeding at 6, don't we?
Yeah,
When
Karen comes straight from work.
And I'm usually
and
here
she's
sort
here
of
at
6
six.
You
o'clock.
run the help with the
Oh,
secretarial.
it's just my own business.
Oh,
I
it is,
actually do.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm obviously here sort of all day, but we start feeding about 6, and well, Karen never leaves till 12:30.
No. Sometimes 1
You get
o'clock.
paid?
No.
She's got all the animals there.
I think that's why she keeps letting me bring my own animals here. You know, I said, I think we ought to take him. I think that's what she said.
Because
Well, she's
Welly's
not gonna go
actually
now.
Karen's really.
So it always starts with one animal, though, doesn't it? Something like
Yes.
this, a place like this. What was it?
Started with Larry.
Larry the
Original.
Lamb?
Yeah. Just it was going to be one bottle-fed black lamb. I'd always wanted a black lamb, and Larry came along from a farm actually in Hertfordshire, and I helped out there for a couple of years for free. I didn't sort of get paid. And Larry then sort of was joined by another lamb, then another lamb, then it was 15. Then it went from that to old ewes, and it climbed up to about 40 odd.
And then you moved from Hertfordshire to Cambridge, and now we've got 240 of them. We've got ponies, we've got rabbits, we've got Wellington.
They just keep coming.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, now joking apart, they can't keep on coming because you'll run yourselves into the ground.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
We've really sort of reached our sort of limits now, haven't we?
Yeah, we keep saying we're not going to take any more, but then
Phone goes.
somebody desperate comes along and you make a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, you think that, the goats are out there, one more won't hurt, another one's sheep.
We've
won't
actually got another
hurt.
2 goats coming, haven't we?
Yes.
You don't think that animals are perhaps taking advantage of you two humans, do you?
No, I don't think so. We have a problem with the sheep if we want to do anything. I mean,
What do you mean by that? Go out or?
Well, yeah, if we want them out into a different field. I mean, they know
I
me
thought
and
you
Carol.
meant you go out.
Well, yeah, we have problems as well. We don't go out, do we? But if we want to move them anywhere, because they're not frightened of me and Carol, we usually try and get somebody else who they don't know, because then they will walk in front of us. But I mean, if we want them to go out when we're feeding at night, we have an awful job to move them, because they know the food's coming. They just stand around, don't they?
So you really don't think you're being manipulated by a lot of wily farm animals?
Well,
they are spoilt a bit, but no, not really.
Do people like me and people who are watching, do they tend to say, oh, I think I'll have a pig? That would be novel.
Yeah.
I mean, does that happen, that the public go for farm
Yeah.
animals?
with the pot bellies as well. I think it's the same with the bottle-fed lambs, because
Yeah.
you can go to the market.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find or buy them very cheap, sort of £5, and people go, okay, they're fine, especially the ram lambs.
Tiny little things,
That's
pretty,
right.
pretty,
Just like a puppy or a kitten, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But once they start growing, sort of you get 6, 7 months old, they can be quite strong, the ram
Yeah.
lambs, can't they?
And a mess.
And boys, well,
Well,
that's
yeah,
right,
that sort of stuff.
And also, they don't like to be kept on their own.
Sure.
And then they get out. If you haven't got good fences, they get out. And then, they do
Causes
become a
havoc.
problem. Well, yes, yeah.
Well, I mean, you found a piglet on the road once, didn't you? I hear. Wiggy.
Yes, Wiggy, yeah. He was about 3 months old, apparently, when we found him wandering down a lane. And we picked him up, took him back to the stables, and notified the police that we'd found a pig. Nobody ever got him.
If the police get many reports of pigs found on the A405.
And we had to have him castrated because he was a boar.
But he's so gentle, isn't he? He's the only one who doesn't push for food or nothing. He'll wait.
Yeah,
And
very good.
he's not boisterous at all, and you can hand feed him, and he's lovely.
Where does the money come from then?
Well, we just have to sort of go to the public for help, for donations. Karen also finds time at weekends to go to car boot sales.
You two, I mean, are just incredible.
But
Have you got men in your lives? Or
We haven't, no.
Do you want men in your lives?
Well, if they can
Time.
carry bales of hay and straw, yeah, we are desperate for help. Really.
There you are. That's what it comes down
if
to.
anybody can come and sort of carry the hay, we don't mind at all. The men.
Love Wellington. Love
That's
Carol.
right, yeah.
Love Carol.
Of course.
The bales of hay get heavy, we reckon, don't
Yeah.
they?
Well, thanks for having us here. I mean, you're truly. Well, thanks for welcoming us on
Thank
Animal
you.
Country.
For coming.
It's great. Thank you very much.
Thanks.